So, so Cadet Daine will say and spell his name. He is the Brigade Commander, so he has recently taken in charge of all 4,400 members of the Corps of Cadets. And we're actually just entering now reorganization week. So everyone just saw march back of the class of 2023 coming back. And now this is actually the official start of our kind of reintroduction of everybody coming together as a class. So with that, I'll let you say and spell your name and tell us a little bit about your role as first captain.
Okay. Daine Vanderwall, D-A-I-N-E-V-A-N space D-E space W-A-L-L. So as first captain, I'm the Brigade Commander for the Corps of Cadets. I'm in charge of approximately 4,500 cadets, and I report directly to the BTO, or the Brigade Tactical Officer, Colonel Marsh, as well as the new Commandant, Colonel Buzzard. So my primary duty is to essentially guide the direction of the Corps by setting objectives and coming up with new incentives and programs that can basically build on the previous hundreds of years that the Corps has been in existence. I ultimately am responsible for the performance of the Corps at the end of the year.
Okay, so let's start with questions. We'll let Ken go with first.
Tim, maybe you could just start with where you're from, why you decided to go to West Point, a couple of steps along the way in your career here at West Point.
Sure. So I'm from Ellicott City, Maryland. Both my parents are actually from the Netherlands, so I'm a first-generation American. I attended the University of Florida before coming to West Point and did a ROTC scholarship there, where I really was just intrigued by the military and really enjoyed the training. So I decided to transfer after that year, came here to West Point, and now I have this great opportunity to lead the Corps of Cadets.
What have you been studying here? What's your major academic areas?
Sir, I'm a systems decision science major. I came from Florida as a finance major, and they didn't have a business major to kind of continue with. So talked to some of the professors at the systems department, and I can't say I've doubted it any second. The systems department's great, great instructors there.
And Mike?
Okay, so what's going to happen during the next week? You're going to be organizing things here at what's the next step now that they're back? They march back.
Yes. So now that the new cadets are back, they're first going to be reintegrated into the academic year companies. So all of their baggage and belongings that have either been stored away or were out at Camp Buckner have now been moved back into their company areas. And now that they're back, they're going to first report to their new academic year first sergeant, at which time they'll meet their team leader, who's going to be basically their lowest ranking or their first line supervisor. And they'll be showing them things here at West Point and how the system works. And they're basically preparing for the academic year, ready to get started here on Monday. The biggest thing they're really looking forward to, though, is the Acceptance Day Parade, which will be occurring this next weekend, at which point they'll be accepted into the Corps of Cadets and also have an opportunity to speak to their parents or see their parents and their families and loved ones for the first time since they showed up on our day.
Keith Hamill here representing the Association of Graduates. So what has been, we just had March Back where hundreds of old grads marched with you, 80 from the class of 1973. In your experience, what has it meant for you to have old grads supporting you in all the sort of milestone events you've had at the Academy?
So having old grads is everything. I actually was thinking about my experience on the march back, and I had the opportunity to march next to an old grad from the class of 1970, our affiliate year. And just getting to hear what West Point means to him, and specifically how the importance of West Point has increased over time. He kind of talked about how he has lost friends since he graduated, and kind of how Army-Navy football games and those big events at West Point really mean something to him now. So seeing them all march back made me kind of reminisce on my time marching from the Stoops House, remembering how proud I was of my class. But it really is great to have that AOG presence here and the continued support. And it doesn't stop here, and that's the best part. They're going to be there at Ring Weekend, 100th Night, and various other events, and just having that continuity and someone to ground us in why it's important that we're here is really great.
Does anybody have one follow-on?
Yeah, maybe you could just tell us some of the activities that you've been in, some of the reasons you feel that you were selected for this hallowed position of first captain.
So here at West Point, I actually started off on the crew team, and then as I progressed, I actually switched over to my company Sandhurst team to focus on military skills training. I had the unique opportunity to go to the Naval Academy as part of the exchange program. So talking about the progression of leadership, I've got to do everything from team leader, so I was in charge of 1 cadet, to squad leader, where I was in charge of 10 midshipmen actually, which was a great experience to kind of, work with people from different services and kind of work through sometimes not knowing what the rules and regulations are, and especially at the Naval Academy where things are very different. And then this summer I had the opportunity to be the Command Sergeant Major for Cadet Field Training, which is for our rising sophomores, where I was in charge of about 1,200 cadets there. And as a Sergeant Major, it was a little bit different of a role because I was mainly in charge of the discipline and the standards and discipline for that unit. And now I'm kind of transitioned to looking at the vision and mission for here at USMA.
So I'm going to do one of those now. I normally don't, but I'm going to do one.
Okay.
I think it might be important. So obviously you've had a vast experience of all sorts of training and getting you ready. Are you ready to take on the responsibility of first captain?
Absolutely. I'm extremely excited. I have a great team. Getting to work with all the other cadet leaders here, between my executive officer, who's really in charge of running my staff, we're really prepared to take on this new challenge. And looking at the other leaders, the regimental commanders, who have also had the unique opportunity to be in charge of the cadet field training or the beast training this summer, we're really excited to get after it this year.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think you have a lot to do this week, so we appreciate your time today.
Yes, ma'am.
And look forward to working with
Absolutely.
you in the future. So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Okay.
Thank you.